Hi everybody, it's Tina. Welcome to my video. I'm about 10 minutes early and I'm just gonna get things set up here. Hey Mom. I haven't been in my office all day, so I have to get situated a little bit. So I thought I would come on a little early and hang out for a few minutes before we dive into all the fun stuff. Hi, Elizabeth, Linda. Hi, Sarah. So we're gonna hang out. I'm getting comments up on my iPad. And I'm not feeling the greatest today. I am fighting a cold. You know, which is never fun. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Chris. So I was thinking that maybe it was allergies. It's so dry here in California, you guys. We just need rain desperately. The air and everything is so dry, and we've been struggling with allergies. And so I was thinking that maybe I was struggling with some allergies. Now I'm not sure if I'm getting sick or not. I was thinking last night, I think I was just overly tired. And I was thinking last night, oh my gosh, I'm getting sick. And then I woke up this morning and I wasn't feeling as bad. And then I thought maybe I just had a meltdown last night. So today, what I've done today is I have just been hanging out in my living room. I'm watching Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies. I'm on the second one. And I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't going to clean. I wasn't going to do anything. And then after the first movie, I was like, well, let's take a break and pick up the laundry. And I ended up cleaning all of the house. So, but I've been doing a bunch of computer work and just some stuff that needs to be done that I never love doing. And I get distracted when I'm in my office to do it. So just some back end stuff that I've been doing. So I've been doing all of that and watching Back to the Future. And so I wanted to do a live here and share with you guys some things. So the first thing is, these are all packaged already, but I'll show you the first card. The Christmas Time Rose class. I'll put a link in the description when I get done here. But this class, I've already cut all the kits and everything. And so I have 4 spots left. So if you guys want to sign up for this class, I need you guys to do it this week or the beginning of next week, because I'm just going to send everything out. I have all of my Stamp Club stuff finished up and ready to ship out. And then I also have all of this stuff ready to ship out and send out. So I'm just going to close it all up early and get it all in the mail next week before, it'll be the week before Thanksgiving. So if you want to sign up for the class for, it's upside down. The Christmas Rose class, is the sound not coming through? Can everybody hear me? Hey, Marty. Thank you for sharing. I think because people have been commenting, Debbie said she's sorry I don't feel well, so I'm assuming that she heard me say that, and she's talking about allergies. So I'm assuming everybody can hear. Okay, so I'm just gonna carry on, maybe refresh if you can't. I mean, I guess if you can't hear me, you don't know me. You don't know that I'm saying that. So I'm not sure. Okay, so anyways, I'm sorry if somebody is struggling to hear. I'm not sure what I can do to help. Try refreshing, maybe. Click out and then click back on. Sometimes that happens to me. So Stamp Club projects and this class will be shipping out next week. And then that way for Thanksgiving, I will just be able to relax and hang out with my family, right? So that is that. And then I want to show you guys a few things that I got in the mail. And I'm pretty sure it's okay to share this. This I might get in trouble for. So if the Stampin' Up police all of a sudden raid my house while I'm live here, you guys will know why. I'm pretty sure it's okay to share this on like video or photo because everybody on stage should have already received this. So I'm just going to go ahead and like do it. And if I get in trouble, I will apologize later. The first thing is that I got a few things in the mail. I got these 3 things in the mail, not from Wendy. Wendy is my direct person that I signed up under, but Patty Bennett, I don't know if any of you guys know her. Patty Bennett is, she's like my second person, and she sent these out. I was number 3 for recruiting and number 4 in sales for her group, and so she sent these out. And the fun thing is that she's giving away product to the top 5 people in her group, and so I will get to pick 2 suites of product out of the upcoming catalog. And so when I can open up the catalog and share with you guys, I will share with you what I'm picking. And I just think that's a fun and important thing to share with you guys. I don't really care about the numbers that I am. What I care about is my business being healthy and being able to continue to do this, and definitely earning free product is what helps me a ton to be able to share with you guys and to see the new product in hand for me and to create projects is huge. So I'm super thankful to Patty for doing this. I got these in the mail and was surprised. I didn't realize that I would place in her top for last year. And then I got the this is a $600 club card that if you do over $600 in the month, you get this card and you get a little bit of free product. So I thought that was really fun. I loved her little certificates. Every year she has fun little certificates. I'll stick these in my Project Life album, and then I'll share with you guys when I get the product. So what you guys are looking at is the brand new catalog. Okay, so this is why I'm like, oh, I hope this is okay. We were asked not, so what happened is Stampin' Up recently changed what they did. So you used to get a paper copy of your catalog when you would place your first order for new product. So for pre-order, demonstrators get to pre-order product starting in December. So that's really fun. So it's always, when you are thinking about, like, if you want to join to, like, become a demonstrator, it can sound kind of scary because you're like, oh, I don't want to do a business or I don't want to run classes. Really, you don't have to do any of those things. You can just take advantage of all of the things that are fun about being a demonstrator. And one of the fun things is we always get to order our product a month before customers. So in December, I will start ordering from this catalog. I will also start earning celebration items. So that is really fun. So what happened is instead of getting my paper copy on when pre-order started, Stampin' Up did this thing where they are sending out catalogs, physical catalogs, to all demonstrators starting the middle of November. And 3,000 catalogs got sent out a week early. And I just happened to be in that 3,000 group. And I'm ecstatic about this catalog. So I'm always nervous going into the occasions catalogs because they're kind of hit and miss. Like, I feel like the holiday catalogs are always like out of this world and I love them. But when it comes to all occasions, I mean, you have a lot more to like cover and there's a lot broader product. And so it's kind of always hit and miss. Like, I always love the product, but am I always like over the moon excited? Sometimes not. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, I can make this work. I like the product. I can get on board with this. You guys, this catalog is not one of those types of catalogs. This catalog is amazing. It is amazing. So I cannot open it up and share with you the product inside of it. Because we are not allowed to do that until the catalog goes live. But I just want you to notice a few things. It's different. It opens up different. So instead of opening this way, and flipping open, it opens this way, which is just fun. I mean, they just have like shaken it up a little bit. So I love it. Here's a sampling of the product. Like I said, everybody's at celebration or at on stage right now. So we were asked if we were one of the 3,000 that got the catalog early to not share it until on stage happened, so that demonstrators who got their catalog at on stage would still be surprised. So on stage is happening right now, and I'm assuming everybody is getting their catalogs because I'm seeing demonstrators post photos of themselves with the catalog. So, and I've also seen a couple prize patrols of product in this catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and share and ask forgiveness later if I'm not supposed to. And so then also we got the celebration catalog, and I don't know, you guys, it's really amazing. I've already made my wish list. I've already picked out my 2 suites of product from Patty that I'm going to get, and I've already planned lots of things. So as always, I will do an entire walkthrough of the catalog when it goes live. If you want to join Stampin' Up and get early access to this, you can do that now. It's an amazing deal. You can start earning celebration items now, which is awesome. And then there is some really exciting things happening with the new trimmer. So if you haven't got the new trimmer, I mean, you're going to be ecstatic when this catalog goes live. So as of right now, this trimmer is live, right? That's very exciting. And if you want to purchase this trimmer, you can do so. I am giving away a little something to everybody who purchases the trimmer this month. And then I'm having a drawing at the beginning of December for all those who purchase a trimmer. And I know Daisy just got her trimmer. She just purchased it this week. I got your email, Daisy. I just didn't reply to it. But I did get it saying that you purchased it. So thank you so much for grabbing that trimmer. So I am excited to have this and excited to see the product. And we will start talking about these things. You guys will see my pre-order when I order here soon. You will see the items I purchased, so you'll get to see some of the things that are in there. And then also, you guys, there is a link in the description of this Facebook live, and it is for my paper spring fling party. So if you have not signed up for that master list for the spring fling paper party, you're going to want to do that right now. So the price is going to be around, oh, I didn't bring my notebook down here. Wendy and I already worked all of this out. It is around $40 for just the paper. There are 2 amazing bundles you guys are going to love that will be part of it. And if you get both bundles, it'll be around $125. So just the paper party itself, where you get all of the designer paper, you get to be a part of our paper party that will be at the end of January. You get to be a part of the prize patrols. We're giving away celebration items. We are giving away 2 separate bundles. Just to do that is going to be around $40. I don't remember exactly the price. It might be $34. It's between $35 and $40. I don't remember the exact price. And then if you get the 2 bundles of product that we'll be using for the card kits, it'll be around $125, and the bundles you'll love. They're just phenomenal. So please use that link to sign up to get on that master list. So we will be going live with all of the details for the Spring Fling Paper Party on Tuesday. So you guys will see the sign up form. If you're on the master list, I will automatically send out the invite to you guys. There are 8 beautiful papers in here. You can see that one you can see some of it here. And you'll be getting celebration items in that package. So this is going to be our biggest paper party to date. So I promise you don't want to miss it. And hopefully, I'm hoping Wendy is on stage right now, and I'm hoping that she will get a few prizes that we're going to be using so that we can make some samples and share them. That's our hope. So that is the fun, exciting news about the new catalog, which I'm very, very excited about. So now we totally have to shift gears and come back to the holidays. It was very exciting for me to get that, and I got it on Monday, and I screamed when I got my catalog. Oh, Marty, use your old blades. It's totally fine. You know what I'm actually doing? I'm using both, and I'm using my old one to cut all my glimmer paper and stuff, or if I have multiple cardstocks to cut, I'm using my old one since I know that one is eventually gonna die. I won't have anything I won't have blades to replace it. I for sure am using that for like cutting glimmer paper, and I did a bunch of prep and I was using it. So let's get started with our project for today. I'm going to use Holly Jolly Christmas, and in here I have my dies. I actually organized all my dies yesterday and cleaned them up and fixed them up, and I need to add this to that pile. But we're using this Holly Jolly set here, and what we are using are just the trees. And then we're using the designer paper. We're using this piece here. I still have quite a bit of this designer paper left because you guys know it's not my favorite. And I have just been kind of making my way through it using certain pieces. So there's the designer paper. And then the other thing we're going to use today is this embossing folder. Okay, we're going to be doing some coloring and some die cutting, a few dies. Okay, so let's get started. This is Garden Green cardstock right here. Oh, yay, Kathy. It's a great set to have. So I'm sorry for the sniffling and the coughing. I'm drinking lots of water. Okay, so for this, we're going to need our big shot. I cannot lift that from all the way over there. Let's bring this over, and then I need a couple dies. So I'm grabbing my circle dies. Oh, they're already out. Okay, so I'll need my circle dies and Whisper White, and then I'll need my other platform. So let's go ahead and get this embossed first before we die cut. So this is our card base. Okay, so it's just a normal 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You cut it at 5.5, okay, and then you fold it at 4 1/4. Then this layer is just 1/4 inch shorter. So it's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 instead of 5.5. So we're going to put this in here. This is the brick embossing folder. I honestly don't know if this could be retired. I just like it, so I've kept it. I have a couple that are like that. It's a really good one because it's just basic. Okay, so now let's do our die cutting while we have the big shot out. So now we have the bricks on that, and then we need to take that plate off and bring our magnetic plate back. We're done with the embossing folder. And then we're going to use our stitched dies. And I think this one, I have 2 sets of these. So just so you guys know, when you get your stitched shaped dies, you get squares, circles, and ovals. I have 2 sets of them. So I have mine where I just have my circles together, and then I have my squares together. And that is just because with all the prep that I do, you know, I use the stitched dies a lot. And so it's helpful for me when I have to prep for classes and kits and stuff that I can cut 2 at a time. And sometimes I'll even borrow like Chris's set of dies if she has the same set, you know, if I'm doing a big class or something. And then that way I can cut like 3 at a time. Okay, so we have all of our pieces now. I am going to go ahead and do my stamping. And we're going to need cherry cobbler. I'm using the Merry Christmas out of the Cup of Christmas stamp set. And we used this on Monday. It's just a teeny tiny Merry Christmas. So it makes sense to go ahead and use it because it's just tiny. And then we'll use Garden Green. Yeah, I'll try not to lose them again. Though I did drop one of the circles in the trash the other day, but I knew I did. I saw it happen, but that would have been a disaster. Oh, I got a little bit of green. I smushed. Have you guys ever heard that saying? Not to French kiss the stamp pad. Like, don't French kiss it and make a mess of it. Just peck it. Have you guys ever heard that? I made out with my ink pad a little bit too much right there. This channel might be, or this video might be turning R-rated pretty quick. I better reel it in. So don't French kiss and make out with your ink pad. Just peck it. A little tiny kiss. Bunny kisses, right? Okay. So we've done our stamping, and this is simple stamping. And you can see I have a little bit of green right there. You can take a little sand eraser and erase those. Oh, maybe that's just gunk. Oh, look, I didn't even do it. I lied. I totally lied. It was just some pieces from my Big Shot, from my die. Okay, I'm okay. See? Turns out I kissed that ink pad just enough. Okay, so now what I'm going to use is Mossy Meadow blends. Right here, I'm going to use the dark and I'm going to use the light. And we're just going to do some really simple coloring. So I am more comfortable using this tip, but my tips wear out really easily. Like really, not easily, but really quickly, I guess is a better, I guess is a better description. They wear out quickly because I'm just more comfortable using this tip. You could totally use the other tip. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. And I'm just doing it right on the edge here. And the key with these markers is to have a very light hand. If you really smush your marker in there onto your paper, what's going to happen is it's going to bleed outside of your lines. These markers, they're alcohol based, and so they're juicy, and what happens is the paper sucks that ink from the marker and pulls it into the paper. And so what you don't want is to have that bleeding outside of your lines. So you got to be real careful and really gentle. And for smaller images like this, if these trees were a little bit larger, I would probably start with the light marker, and I would give the whole image a light coloring to start the process of being able to blend. But because this image is so small, I don't want it to bleed out. I don't want it to have too much. And so I'm just doing it. I'm doing dark first. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my light. I will start in the dark color and I will color outward. And that's going to help to lighten those edges and give a nice blend. And I tend to gravitate towards the alcohol markers Not because I'm super great at coloring and I love it so much, but because they actually make it really easy to color. So if you don't like coloring, you're going to get a really beautiful image, even if you're not good at it. Like, I'm not good at coloring. It's too tedious for me. Like, see, I already went out of the lines. Yeah, so it's too tedious for me, and I don't tend to love it, but I gravitate towards the alcohol markers because even though there's a little bit to get used to and using them, they just come out so beautiful. See that? Okay, let me catch up on comments. Okay, so Marty said, oops, guess I'm pushing too hard. Wondered why they were bleeding outside the lines. Yep, so that's why. They're like literally when you're using these markers, let me see if I can get closer to the camera here, closer to my phone, and I can give you a little tip. My mom can never make it through these videos. She gets bored listening to me. That's the deal. She's always like, oh, gotta go, got stuff to do. That's code for, okay, this is boring. I got to get out of here. She cracks me up. Okay, so when you are using your markers, you want to just very gently tap the paper. So you don't want to put your marker down and drag it. Okay, you want to just brush it against the paper. Super, super light. And almost in that like a flicking kind of motion, if you just set this down on the paper, this paper is going to soak it. And you can see the difference in the way it bleeds through the paper. When I set it down when I set the marker down and I'm dragging it, you can see that it bleeds more. The paper, it has more of an opportunity for the paper to grab that ink and pull it from the marker. But when you're just you just want to barely tap it. And that is why I'm more comfortable with the brush tip. I feel like when I'm using this tip, it's easier for me to leave that on the paper and to set it down and to push harder. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense and might help you out a little bit. And you just have to practice with them because it's really what you feel comfortable with. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I want to take my garden green and I'm going to take this sponge. We're going to dip it in our ink and just brush it back and forth on this. And the ink is going to pick up the edges of the paper. That were embossed. And just give it a little bit of definition, right? So let's close this up. Okay, so now let's put this together. So I'm going to use a little bit of foam for this. So even though we did a little bit of coloring and it's pretty simple, the card will come together pretty fast. Oh my word, these people next door. Let me check. Oh no, it's not them. So these people next door, our next door neighbors, had a tree removed. I'll shut my window. So they had a tree removed from their yard. So for one whole day, they had the chainsaw going to remove the tree. And I get it. They needed to have the tree removed. So I'm just kind of being crabby, but I get it. That they didn't probably have a choice. So there was one whole day where I was trying to work. It's literally like in my front yard, basically, because their side yard is basically right next to my office, where my office and studio is. Oh my word. It was horrible. It was so loud. So then yesterday, all day long, they were running the chainsaw and running this big truck came, coned off our road. like literally coned off where like our whole entire road. And it was like the truck that like you throw the trees in that chop it all up. And I was like, you're kidding me that this is I mean, it was all day yesterday. Oh, I'm complaining and I didn't put this on straight. Anyway, so I just heard a chainsaw and a machine going, and I'm wondering if they have more to cut over there. It was a huge tree, so I get it. They probably really needed to have it cut, but whew, do you ever have those moments where you're like, well, part of it is just because I work from home, and so it's super frustrating when stuff like that happens, because that's basically my office, right? Like, so this we're gonna cut at 4, and like I said, I'm sure it needed to be done. I'm sure they weren't just doing it to annoy me, but, and then 2.5. So this is 4 inches by, well, like 2 1/4. Okay. And I have this really old punch. This is a scalloped border punch, and I love it. It's totally retired. It's been retired for like 1,000 years, but it is in my collection, and I still use it often because it's just one of my favorites. I mean, I don't think you can get, it can get easier than this. And I know we've had some dies that have done, and we might even have one right now in the catalog that does like the scalloped edge, but I don't know. There's just something so easy about the punch. And so I've always kept the punch. Okay, so now we're going to add this piece, but we need our designer series paper piece. And this, I chose this with the yellow. I'm not a huge fan of the yellow. It's not like terrible, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. But in small pieces, I think it works. So what I'm going to do is a 1 inch by 4.5. And I got to get a drink of water. My throat is dry. Okay, so I got a drink. Yeah, for sure. Try that and see if with a lighter hand it works better. Marty said, we just went through that, but it was our tree that fell on our fence, and I felt so bad for all the noise. I know it's one of those things that they probably needed to do it. Obviously there were reasons. So I shouldn't be so annoyed, but it was so loud. And the house is really close to us. It's our neighbor that's really, really close to us. Our property on the other side, we have much more room between our neighbors. So if it had been the other side, it probably wouldn't have been as bad. Okay, so I just added my cherry cobbler piece all the way to the edge. Oh, I know that they don't have a wood burning stove like we do, but it was a pine tree and we don't tend to like to burn pine. So I was thinking like, oh, there's all that wood over there. Like when they cut it down, because there was a ton of wood in their thing. And I'm sure they had to pay to have it, done. They should have sold it is what they should have done. I mean, it wouldn't have been able to burn this year because it would have been too fresh. But they could have somebody could have burned it, next year. We tend to not like to burn pine because it clogs up your fireplace. It burns kind of nasty. And fortunately, we were very, very blessed this year. We have been given so much wood. It's been so crazy. At the end of summer, I was really starting to freak out about we didn't have any wood at all for the winter, and we only have a wood burning fireplace. So if we don't have wood to burn, we freeze. And we were given in the span of about 2 weeks, we were given like enough wood for this winter and then some for next winter. And then we were just this week, I had a friend stop by and say, hey, if you want some wood, you can go get it. A tree is down and they need it gone off their property. And so my husband went on Monday and he said, this is great because it'll be a good start for next year. So we've been very, very blessed this year. So I just added my circle, and then it has the trees on here. And then I'm using my Wink of Stella to add a little bit of glitter, and I have one more thing to do. It was a huge blessing, Daisy. We were so thankful. I had just been praying and praying about our wood situation and what we were going to do, and it's very, very stressful when you don't have time to get out and cut wood, and it's a necessity. And so it was such a huge blessing, and it was a huge blessing that it was already cut. The first set of wood that we were given, it was already cut. We didn't even have to, my husband didn't have to go out and cut the wood. He just had to go pick it up. And then this wood that he went this week and got, he had to cut. He had to do some cutting, which was fine. You know, he's totally capable. But it was just a huge blessing. When things like that happen, I always want to be so thankful, because it is a huge blessing. It's time consuming and a lot of work. I'm so thankful my husband goes and does it. And we love having the wood burning stove. We wouldn't have it any other way, but it's a lot of work. Okay, so there's the stars. So these stars are just from the gold glimmer paper, and then I used a star border punch to punch a bunch of stars out, and then I've been using them. I tend to use them more around this time of the year. I dislike pine too, Marty. I don't like the way it burns, and I don't like how quickly it burns. It makes such a mess of ash in your house. So here's this one right here, and then this is the original one I did. They're pretty similar. I didn't do anything different really on them, other than where I placed my scalloped piece. So I will have a PDF for you guys, and I will have that tomorrow for you guys, because I'm going to put this up on my YouTube channel right away today. And usually I don't do that. I usually wait and put it up the following week. But today it's going up right away. And so I'll have a PDF for you guys, and I'll put that on the page here. And then make sure you guys, if you make sure to get on the master list for the paper spring fling paper party for the new catalog. You guys will absolutely love it. I'm telling you guys. It's amazing, amazing product. I already have so many ideas. It's so fun to dream about the new product and getting it. It makes me feel, it brings me that creative mojo. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just get in a rut, and some fresh product can just help you dream. Thank you guys so much. So I'm going to go. I've got to go pick up my kids here from school in a few minutes. So I'm going to do that and run to the post office. I have a ton of stuff going out in the mail. I have, Julie, I have your case that broke. I'm sending you a new case. I have a couple more glue packs going out from last month. I have treats, goodies going out to everybody who's bought a trimmer so far. I have that going out. I have a whole bunch of stuff that has to go to the post office. So be watching for happy mail from me if you are expecting something. Thank you so much, Teresa. Oh, let's see. Here's a comment. We used to cut, oh, that must be cut and buy wood, and our 8 kids had helped stack it. We make our kids help stack it too. Oh, that's amazing. You had 3 fireplaces to keep going in the winter. Our house is so small, we only need 1, thankfully, because that would be a lot to manage, right? But our kids stack the wood on Tuesday when my husband went out wood cutting. The girls had to go out and unload the wood from the back of the truck and sweep out the back of the truck. And Andrew always helps stack it. He loves to help stack it. The girls are probably old enough to go out cutting with him, but Andrew just said like he can't wait until he can go out cutting with him. And sometimes I'll help him stack, you know, depending. And then we always have, you know, all the pieces that fall off the wood. We always have a nice little pile. And then we always, in the winter, we always do like a fire out in the yard, where we burn up the extra pieces, you know, after it's like rained and stuff, like not now because it's too dangerous, it's too dry. But, and you know, when it's cold, we'll do that, and it's really fun to do that. And it does keep them involved. And we always, you know, they know that that's how we stay warm. You know, they're well aware that it has to happen. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will be back on Monday to hang out with you guys again. I have lots of fun crafting projects this weekend that I'll be making this weekend, and then I'll be sharing them with you guys next week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, you guys, and I will chat with you guys next week.